Я хочу послушать System of Down.
System of Down вырежут.
Почему?
У тебя же там license.
License? Какой license?
Copyright.
Почему вырежут?
Ну, ты же сам мне рассказывал.
Дядь,
Забыл?
I know that.
Ну, почему вырежут? Расскажи.
I erased the songs that are copyrighted. Чтобы не вырежали. Bonjour, хочу вас. What? Can I talk to you?
Что?
Вот. Dad. What is alert? It's alerts only. Dad, can you do? Well, you have you scheduled your oil change appointment? Could you press pause? Could you pause it?
Что говорил кто-то?
What is alerts only? Alerts only is only sounds. Only sounds only, such as loud sounds and alert and traffic alert and arrive to destination sound effect. Yes, Dad.
I don't know. Where did you leave it?
Dad, do you like alerts only? The next light, you're gonna turn right on Garden Road.
Расскажи, что ты можешь
A lot in Rancho Grande. Alive in the ocean wave. And sometimes I feel like a motherless child.
какая твоя любимая? Споешь самую любимую?
A lot in Rancho Grande. A lot donde vivía. Había un rancherita como que me decía. See, Spanish song. Spanish.
Три будешь петь?
The order is Spanish Ocean Child. There is 3 songs.
Какой еще не спел?
Alive on the ocean wave, a home on the rolling deep.
Что песня?
It's a song about life in the ocean wave.
Что это значит? Как ты себе это представляешь?
Next stop sign, you're going to turn right onto Fireville Drive.
Это алерт? Что же, не пизнаешь?
Next stop sign, you're going to turn right onto Cross Timbers.
Тебе не надо.
Make a next right. to the parking lot.
Так, тебе там надо выходить? Давай здесь остановимся. Да не трогай, Ильдар, ну пожалуйста, убери. Что ты? Как?
Налево!
Так не получится. Ты видишь, что какой поток? Нужно доехать до Ветёр. Сложно налево. Должен смотреть, когда ты выезжаешь. Всегда много машин, лучше проехать чуть-чуть. А здесь уже спокойно делаешь Ветёр. Что такое? Вот спокойно.
He did. Could you turn? Could you pause? He did. Could you pause it?
Давай.
If you've listened to it on the way, if you've listened to it on the way,
Что, нельзя послушать?
можно.
takes more than getting your employees' feedback through the Soft Skills Engineering podcast to be a great engineering manager. This is Soft Skills Engineering episode 503. I'm your host, Dave Smith.
I'm your host, Jameson Dance.
Soft Skills Engineering is a weekly advice podcast for software developers, and unlike websites that return a 503, this is...
I'm so glad we're back in the stats. Well, we missed a few. I don't think we made a 500 joke.
We did make a 500 joke, and 501 and 502 are rare enough that I just didn't know what to say.
Yeah. Yeah, this is, so the question is, are these our employees, Dave, or is this someone else's employee where both the listener and the employer, both sides are listeners?
That's exactly the
Or
scenario.
a secret third thing.
It's like you need to get feedback from your team members, and so what you do is you just listen for their questions on the show.
Yeah.
There's a lot of feedback for you managers out there on this show. A lot.
Yeah. If in doubt, it's about you.
Yeah. I literally have had people come up to me and say, "Was that question about me?"
Have I ever had anyone say that? No. It's because they know it's not about them. It's about Dave.
Yeah, it's about.
That's what the question's about. Speaking of Dave, how about this for a transition? Should I read our patrons?
That transition was 200 okay.
Great. I'm going to do it then. Thank you to these folks who support us so much that we shout them out every single week. Thank you to My Name is Toast Because I Like Bread. Brian Wolford is in Germany. Boots the Cat Who Is Dead. Learn more at boots.rip. Oh man. Old Man Yells at Claude. Seth Angel. Is that a Will Angel? Oh, now that's actually Will Angel's brother, right? I don't know. Sorry, couldn't find a funny thing to say. Now I'm stuck with this name.
Nice.
Jamie Sundance. Go ahead and run your own mail server. What are you, Chicken Buck Bok? My actual name on LinkedIn is Yami Debugging in the Dark Canny, the mobile development ordinaire first of his name. Jacob Chandling, Larry Ellison's brother, Larry Page. That still gets me.
It's funny.
It's so dumb, and I really love really dumb jokes. Coffee is for closures, the missing semicolon. Christy, the world's okayest programmer. I didn't get a link to the poll about Will Angel starting a blog. Could you please send it again? You said words, and now I hate my job. Nick Molyneux. Embedded engineers treat assembly the same way TypeScript engineers treat JavaScript. Javier Gonzalez, Chewy, Ted Timbro, I like chicken, I like liver, Meowmix, followed by a single closing, and then the character, a single closing paren, and then Will Angel, and then another single closing paren character. A separate patron that is a single opening paren. Oh, I got those were opening parens earlier too. Sorry. Dan from Drone Deploy. Never is not just a crater on Mars flipping emoji. I like chicken, I like liver, Meowmix, please deliver. Swiss Python again this October. Succinct. Kyle Boss, Kent C. Dodds. This podcast was recorded at 1970 0101 or later. It's the start of the Unix epic, right?
Yes.
Jenny Kim, the Stochastic Parrot, Ira Chan, Jonathan King, Snide, Beautiful Functional Documentation. Can't See Dodds.
Oh, Can't See Dodds.
I think that's Kent C. Dodds.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so great.
Should Will Angel start a blog? Vote now on your phones. Is it pronounced data or data? I assume that's how I'm supposed to say it. They're both spelled the same.
It's
I
actually
couldn't figure out how else to pronounce
Date
it.
or Date.
Braden Keynes, John Grant, Brittany Ellick, and close parenthesis, and then an actual single closing parenthesis. Thank you.
Ugh.
Than't you.
Just when I think they can't get better.
Constraints breed creativity, and you're demonstrating that. There's some creative names here.
Just so you all know, I've had a pretty rough week, but I feel great right now.
It's working. Take our energy, Dave.
Thank you. I feel renewed.
Good. We have a sponsor, Dave. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, speaking of feeling renewed, this episode is sponsored by Retool. Retool is the best way to keep up with all those unending internal tool requests, except they're actually governed and secure and no cleanup required. Please go check out Retool at retool.com/softskills so we get that delicious marketing juice. Retool.com/softskills. We'll tell you more about them later.
Yep. Okay. Also, I must do as our planning cards say, and it says you are supposed to read this first question. So even though you just did stuff, can you do more stuff?
I do what you say, you do what the card says, the cards run it.
You wrote the script that made the cards.
That's
so
true.
ultimately, you are pulling the
We
strings.
do what the machines say, and it's only becoming
Yep.
more true every year.
Yep.
Okay, an anonymous listener writes in to say, I'm a software developer with about 15 years in the industry. I am soon starting as the CTO of a robotics company with about 50 employees. Though I have years of experience and an academic background within the field of robotics, I have always been focused on the software side of things. In my new role, I am ultimately responsible for the hardware team as well. How do I go about earning the respect and becoming an effective leader of my new colleagues working in a field which I am not an expert myself? Sorry, in which I am not an expert myself. But one thing you are an expert on is where to place a preposition in English. You nailed that.
Yeah.
You already got my respect.
Yeah.
Really well done. Not a lot of people have my respect when it comes to prepositions.
There are no infinitives being boldly split here. How do you do this? I think what you do is you buy like an Arduino, because that's what hardware is, I believe. You stroll into the room where the hardware team works, slam it down on the desk and say, how hard could this be? Look at this thing.
Maybe like decorate.
Yeah, bring your little breadboard
Yeah.
hooked up with an LED that blinks and a button. and, like,
Exactly. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I know hardware.
I know
guys.
hardware.
We speak the same language.
Just put some of these like breadboards around your office as if you have many projects in progress.
Yeah.
You'll get the respect. Don't worry.
My father-in-law has a PhD in electrical engineering and works in hardware. And I mean, I know that there's a physical reality underneath the code, but I just ignore it most of the time. And he is the opposite, where he knows that there is code running on these things, and he deals with like interference and like debugging is spooky because hardware can be haunted in much more frightening ways than software. You can build gigantic Rube Goldberg distributed systems,
Oh yeah.
but you can still read all the code.
Yeah.
But with hardware, it's literally like I set this thing in the wrong place for a day, and that flipped some bit somewhere on it, and then when I moved it back to this other spot, now it's like poisoned. I think hardware can get disease, like you can get sick.
Yeah. Also, hardware has magic smoke in it. Software does not have magic smoke.
Yeah, the magic smoke is coming out of my ears in software.
Yeah.
It's in my brain.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's probably the main reason I didn't go into hardware was because you got one chance with each atom to get it right. And I'm like, when I look at the number of commits I will push or the number of times I'll try something in software, I'm like, wow, that only took me 17 tries to get right.
Yeah.
I can't afford to be in hardware.
Yeah, and I think it is a great skill to figure out how you have quick feedback loops in hardware, because if done naively, I think the feedback loop is like, oops, let me go build a new one, I guess, and then start over. So I guess I'm not answering your question again. I'm saying I have admiration and respect for people that work in hardware, but Dave doesn't. He told me before this question. He said, I think these people are a bunch of jokers, and it's not actually that hard.
It's a freaking clown show.
No, I know you don't feel that way.
I actually have a ton of
Sensi
respect.
pa
In fact, one of my
kinushno.
close friends who's been a friend of mine for many, many years